Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing some work that I've been doing on a thesis project for my undergraduate degree in professional communications. The title of my project is Imagining an Interoperable Internet, Exploring Channels Between Walled Gardens.
Interoperability is the ability to seamlessly move data between different platforms. It occurs when distinct systems agree to speak in a shared language.
So user data is currently located in mostly centralized, disconnected databases. These are also described as walled gardens. Each of these examples on the screen here can be described as a walled garden because the data that these platforms collect is centralized within those platforms and can't be shared easily. For an example, we can look at Xbox. There's a lot of people who play video games on Xbox and they collect a lot of rewards in those games. So, for example, they defeat big bosses or they set high scores or they complete games. And within the Xbox walled garden, they receive credentials for those achievements, but they can't easily and verifiably take those credentials outside of Xbox's walled garden. Okay, so then we can approach my research hypothesis, which suggests that data should be more shareable. And specifically that the user, in this case, my little Bitmoji character, should be able to custody more of their data and therefore make more use of it across their digital life. So then briefly, we're going to take a look at the technology stack that can enable this. So I built a diagram here that should hopefully illustrate this for you. But the applications that we were just looking at, they all sit here at the top. This is where the user is like interacting. This is where most of their activity happens. And from these platforms, the user will generate data or they'll like collect things that are hopefully important to them. And then those pieces of data can travel from the application down to the user, and the user can store that data in what I'm describing here as a universal wallet. So that wallet basically acts as the custodial place for the user's data, and the wallet belongs to the user. They're not renting it from another platform. It's actually theirs. And within that wallet, they can store all kinds of important bits of data. So, for example, these could be commodities or currencies or tokens of achievement, something like a university degree or a diploma of some sort, academic credentials, things like that, or even something as important as a passport could be stored in a universal wallet. And then just briefly, the reason blockchain is mentioned here as well is because these wallets are being secured on a blockchain network for the sake of increased security.
The technology stack described here is often referred to as Web 3.0. This diagram showcases the evolution from Web 1.0 to 3.0. Web 2.0 is the stage we are currently in. Our data and our digital identities are owned by a few large tech companies. In order to easily sign in to new experiences, we use the rented identities they provide us. Web 3.0 uses an alternative infrastructure that focuses on providing users with a central, self-custodied digital identity. The emerging data standards which make this interoperable internet possible include verifiable credentials, non-fungible tokens, and fungible tokens. More technical details are included in the white paper, which you will find in the description of this video.
So now that we've covered sort of at a high level what this project is suggesting, we can get into the more fun stuff. So I made for us a user persona. His name is Jonah Roberts, quite creative. And we have a little user journey that we can follow here. I'll also attach at the end of this video a link to the slide deck if you want to go through this journey yourself, because there are opportunities to go in different directions, and obviously I'm just going to be able to play through it one way. But here we're faced with a choice between two different personas, two different versions of this character of Jonah. In the first one, this is a more social persona. The other one is a more professional persona. So we're just gonna click on the social one, and we'll follow up here. Jonah's personal profile. He likes sharing his hobbies and interests with his social network. He loves music and enjoys seeing his favorite artists perform live. And his goals on this user journey are to connect more easily with his social network. So let's see how that might be possible. The concert ticket, slide 1. Jonah wants to see the Taylor Swift Eras Tour because he is a hashtag Swiftie. On his phone, we are viewing a website selling tickets to the Eras Tour, as you can see here, and we can click buy now to purchase the ticket. Now that we've purchased the ticket, we can view the ticket in Jonah's wallet. Here we have the universal wallet slide. This is a place for Jonah to store all sorts of digital assets. The concert ticket is just one example, and that's the one that we're following here for this user journey. But I think it's important to mention that as individuals further personalize what their user wallets contain, those wallets become more of a digital twin to the real life person. So as many things as you might hold or value in the real world, you also might have a similar amount of things that exist digitally that you hold dearly. Something like a real world diploma that hangs on your wall, you could have a digital twin counterpart that exists in your digital wallet. Or the same would go for potentially a ticket stub to a meaningful concert or event. And you may also have a digital ticket stub that exists inside of your universal wallet. So here is the concert ticket sitting in Jonah's wallet. And now we can see that Jonah has received a notification from Instagram. Instagram is telling us that your Eras Tour is ready to be shared. And we can click on it to see exactly what that means. Okay, so now we've just been transported to a new interface here. We can see an Instagram profile page. Many of you should probably recognize it. It is also mine. And I just have a couple notes on the side. The most important of which is that Jonah's posts on his profile that we can see here, they reveal some things about himself, but he wants to be able to display more. And so that's basically what the purpose of this new feature that I've designed for Instagram is, utilizing these more interoperable data standards so that users on platforms like Instagram can display more about themselves. Now, here we are on Instagram's new profile feature, Instagram Stamps. Stamps enables Jonah and other users to share personal credentials with their networks. So on the screen here, we can see 12 examples of digital credentials, digital assets that Jonah has theoretically collected. So the concert ticket is right up here in the top left. We have a digital certificate or an academic credential. There's another one, a credential from Duolingo for practicing languages, the completion of a Legend of Zelda video game, a Strava token for exercising. These are sort of random, but hopefully you get the picture. So now we click on the concert ticket to view it individually, and we can see some interesting stuff on this page. Firstly, we can see who else among Jonah's friends owns this stamp or owns this concert ticket. This makes it easy for Jonah to see who else is going to the concert among his network. And as we can see here, it enables more opportunity for connection on the platform. So Jonas just received a direct message from a friend who is telling him that they just bought an Eras ticket. So, no, sorry, they're saying that they realized you bought an Eras ticket and they're inviting you to go see the show with them. So I think that's great. Jonas would probably be very excited to have a friend to go see the show with. This marks the end of Jonah's personal user journey because his goals or his intentions have been satisfied. And I think the concert ticket has been much more useful to him within the context of this more interoperable internet than it previously would have been if it was just siloed within the Ticketmaster walled garden. Okay, so next we're going to get into a little case study. This is short, but hopefully sweet. We have two examples to choose from. One is focusing on digital degrees, and the other is about Spotify Wrapped. We're going to stay on the trend of clicking left here. But again, if you want to go back through this deck and play through the other options, you're more than welcome to. So a brief overview about Spotify Wrapped. Spotify Wrapped is an annual feature where Spotify users get a recap of what they listened to during that year. And Spotify presents the data on a graphic like this that's ready-made for social media. It's the perfect template for an Instagram story specifically. Since Wrapped, other companies have also jumped on board this trend. And on the next slide, we're going to delve a bit deeper into why that might be. So we can see here that 60 million Spotify Wrapped graphics were shared by users on social media in 2021. That is a huge amount of advertising for Spotify that they did not have to pay for. All that they had to do was give their users essentially a digital asset, that templated photo, and tell them that if they wanted to share it, that they were welcome to, and users basically carried the project on from there. We have a quote here from the Spotify vice president, which says that he expected Spotify Wrapped to be a way to keep customers, like a loyalty play, in order to reward the Spotify customers that were already using Spotify and basically tell them like, here's what you've been listening to, and hopefully, that builds some good faith between you and our platform. But what he didn't expect was the amount of people who would want to share it then online with their network, basically creating a massive to the tune of 60 million free advertising promotions, massive marketing opportunity. So that's kind of what we're talking about here, is the opportunity for interoperable credentials or digital assets of any sort to become advertising material for companies, basically branded assets that users are going to intrinsically want to share with their networks because they're personalized to them, because they're meaningful to them, because essentially they want to share those assets with their friends, with their social network or their professional network. So the takeaways here are that interoperable credentials are a powerful marketing opportunity, that platforms increase their reach and gamify the user experience, and that it encourages other users to join in or compete. So lastly, a quote from the Harvard Business Review suggests that building on an interoperable infrastructure layer makes it easy for platforms to plug into broader content networks, thereby expanding the scale and types of value that they can provide their users. And that's the end of this presentation. I hope this hasn't gone on too long. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, reach out. My email is on this final slide. And also I'll include the slide deck on Figma for anybody who wants to play through it themselves or go an alternate route from what I did. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Jonah Roberts, and have a great day.